morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Morning, council members, members of the CRA. And good morning, Ms. Goodley. How are you? Good. It is my honor and privilege. Of course, I left my glasses up at the podium. Let's see how I do. It's my honor and privilege to present you with this commendation. I think it might be the first from the CRA, so you got a double extra bonus here. Thank you. We do many commendations at City Council, but this might be the first at the CRA. Natasha, in honor of your volunteer service to the Tampa community and your commitment to the economic advancement of the citizens, Tampa City Council, in its official capacity as the Community Redevelopment Agency, applauds you for your tireless efforts. As chair of both the East Tampa Community Redevelopment Agency and the Community Advisory Committee, you have consistently gathered people from all walks of life in order to bring awareness and support to the issues affecting the East Tampa community. Your work as a community advocate has inspired the creation of affordable housing and created strategic partnerships between local businesses and the community. You have contributed to improving the lives of so many and continue to do so with a gracious heart. You've demonstrated yourself to be an enterprising, determined, and true public servant for your community and our community. In gratitude for such efforts, we present you this commendation on this, well, it said the 12th of November because that's when we were supposed to do it, but on this day in 2020. And with that, I will sort of wander over closer to you and give you the commendation. And Natasha, we haven't known each other for a long time, but I'd just like to say in the 2 years that we have known each other, I was extremely impressed by your work. Councilman Goods always has great things to say about you and how hard you're working out in the community. I think you should run for public office and city council. Just don't run against us. Anyway, congratulations, and say a few words, and then council, I'm sure the CRA will have a few words back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this commendation. After these past 2 years, it's great to know that my hard work and dedication was appreciated. As you all know, I got involved in East Tampa after moving here in 2011, following the purchase of my first home. I immediately noticed how different things operated in East Tampa and wanted to bring some normalcy to our community. I fought to eliminate the slum and blight within East Tampa, hoping that this would bring more development, retail, grocery stores, and more. I also hoped that by eliminating the slum and blight, we could bring East Tampa back to what it was decades ago, a mixed income community. East Tampa used to be the home of many professionals, blue-collar workers, and low-income families and individuals, all living cohesively. With the onset of integration, those who had the means to move did so, leaving the most impoverished people behind in East Tampa. It seems that once that happened, the powers that be stepped in to ensure that these people left behind had no access out. Transportation services were limited, retail vanished, access to fresh, healthy food disappeared, and the only homes that were being built were starter homes and homes well below the average market rate, placing a glass ceiling over East Tampa. That decreased the overall property value, and decreased property values in an entire community solidifies and empowers poverty instead of economic growth and economic development. I naively thought that the first step to bring about an effective change in East Tampa and to restore our mixed income community was to eliminate the physical slum and blight. I now realize that the first step is removing the mental barrier first, and that is the poverty mindset. A poverty mindset will have you fighting against any improvement in your community because change sounds frightening. A poverty mindset will have you believing that you don't deserve to enjoy some of the basic amenities in your community. A poverty mindset will have you accepting a $400,000 house being built anywhere within this city, but not in your neighborhood. A poverty mindset will have you protesting against efforts to remove slum and blight because the slum and blight gives you a sense of normalcy. A poverty mindset will have you accepting boarded up homes and buildings for decades. A poverty mindset will have you littering in your own neighborhood, but searching for garbage cans in other people's neighborhoods. A poverty mindset ultimately maintains poverty within that community. East Tampa is not the home of impoverished people. East Tampa is and has been the predominant home of Black people. And poverty is not synonymous with being Black. We want to have a thriving mixed income community, and we need your assistance to make this happen. And by assistance is the operative word in my last sentence. We want to be sure that our voices are heard and that we're pushing the narrative with your assistance. We don't want to accept anyone else's narrative for our community because we're fully capable of creating that ourselves. We need your help in eradicating the poverty mindset, not pacifying it. Thus, I hope that each of you will take up the charge to lay the foundation of eliminating the poverty mindset that's ingrained in our community and focusing on establishing East Tampa as a formidable neighborhood and community. East Tampa is home to an array of individuals. We have six-figure residents, millionaire residents, working class residents, seniors on fixed incomes, and low-income residents. It's time that all of our residents saw themselves reflected in East Tampa. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not running for office either. I'm here to see the change that we deserve in East Tampa. So again, thank you so much for this recognition.
Thank you, Ms. Goodley. Any comments from council, Mr. Beer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Ms. Goodley, thank you so much for all your work, and Councilman Dingfelder, thank you, sir, for your kind words, and for everybody for bringing this forward. You know, we met, if you remember, like 6-7 years ago or so. A lot of folks don't know that Natasha comes from a proud military family. Her father, Johnny Goodley, is a Vietnam combat veteran and a Purple Heart recipient, and headed up, what was it, the Sumter Veterans Group?
Southern South Carolina Combat Veterans Group.
There you go. Yeah. And we worked together on an event probably 6-7 years ago with a Hispanic bar in Jiba, George Edgecombe Bar Association, to honor minority veterans who served during the Jim Crow era. And your father and his group and you were such an integral part of that. And that was the first time that we met. And I remember the second time that we worked on something together, it was when I was going to run for office. And I reached out to you and I said, I'd love to meet with the board of the NAACP. And you pretty much said, and you were there, and you pretty much said a lot of the things that you talked about here today with regards to East Tampa and bringing those issues forward. You've always been an advocate for areas and things that people forget about, whether it's experiences of people like your father, or whether it's the narrative of East Tampa that's all too easily forgotten by folks. Because when you don't, the things that you don't see, the things that you don't experience, it's pretty darn easy to forget about it, isn't it? So it's so incumbent upon people of good social conscience who, advocate for change and equity and social justice and decency to make change. And so thank you for that. And I appreciate all your statements. And I think it's so incumbent in our city to make sure that, as I always say, the benefits of economic growth and the benefits of free enterprise, properly understood, benefits East Tampa, because it hasn't for too darn long. But thank you for all your work. Thank you. And I hope your dad's watching, by the way.
He is.
Well, Johnny Goodley, how you doing? Good to see you. I love you, buddy. Thank you.
Mr. Maniscalco.
Well, I mean, you're very impressive in the work that you've done and that you do. I'm a fairly young guy, and it's nice to see people that are in our age group that are getting involved, and you certainly take it to the next level because you're more than just involved. I mean, you live, breathe, and work what you do. But I think you inspire other people from our generation to want to get involved and to really focus on and care about their communities, because a lot of people may not want to get involved in politics, may not want to get involved in their neighborhood association, may not want to get involved in civic and social organizations, but you do. And I think you serve as an inspiration to get younger people involved so that they really start focusing and caring about their communities and how they can improve them. So I appreciate all that you do, and congratulations. Thank you.
Councilman Citro.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ms. Goodley, because of your hard work in the community, your name is now forever etched in the history of Tampa. But I please ask that you do not stop here, that you keep on helping the community and the city as a whole, because I know that you will always be a part of Tampa and you will always do great work for the city. Ladies and gentlemen of Tampa, remember the name Natasha Goodley, because you're going to be seeing more of her in the future, I know. Congratulations, Natasha. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Councilman Miranda.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say, Ms. Goodley, thank you for your words of wisdom. You certainly experienced the knowledge of understanding how to get things done by the words that you brought up and your statements that you said about not only your neighborhood, but about life in general. And that's what makes people hopeful. You can't have a success without at least a dream of doing what you think you can do, and you certainly offer that opportunity. And for that, I want to say thank you very much.
Ms. Goodley, I've known you for about 4 years, and I want to say during that time, you've done extraordinary work throughout this community. Your labor is not going in vain. You understand it, you live it, because you live in East Tampa, and that's important when people are part of something they experience. I always talk about this council, experience is his best teacher. A lot of people won't agree, but sometimes we have to agree to disagree, and then we have to come to the middle point to say, okay, let's work together to make things happen and make these changes. East Tampa is changing. And my council members always hear me say, everyone in East Tampa is not poor. We've had different communities that had doctors, lawyers, school teachers, blue-collar workers, and you would be correct. It's just that we haven't had the extra tender love and care by other administrations to be able to foster what we really truly need. Times are changing. We have a new administration, a new council, and we're looking to do those type of things to make sure we have a balance within our city. It's important to have a balance. I just want to say thank you for your efforts. I know we have a new body over there, and they're working hard with the new strategic master plan. Please stay involved. We need some of your wisdom and help with some of the new folks that are over there, and we need a bonding that everyone works together, all our neighborhood associations, everyone. I see Ms. Burton is here, and I'm glad she's here as our new East Tampa CAC chair. And I know that she's going to do her best to work with everybody to make our strategic action plan the best. I see Mr. Robinson is here as well. I want to acknowledge him because he's done a great job in West Tampa. And so some of the things that they're doing, we're doing across connecting. And that's so important that we're all benefiting from some of the labor. So again, thank you and congratulations today, this morning.